Hands on helmet. 10 seconds.
Welcome. I'm Chris McKean.
And I'm Andy Kiner.
We're all about cross-country racing, and usually it starts with 10 seconds.
But not in Iowa. In Iowa, it usually starts with hands-on helmets. But not
Usually.
this weekend.
A little bit different this weekend.
Different than we've ever done before. Chris says, and we're not doing it again for another year. Man.
I'm at the comforts of my home. A little bit better internet than last weekend.
A lot better. A lot better.
So we'll continue to make some changes.
And I'm in the comforts of my motorhome.
Yep.
In Canesville. First time I've ever used Starlink. It's actually pretty easy.
That's got to be saying something if you're saying it was easy.
I was going to say, if I can do it, you can do it, Chris.
Gee, thanks. Yeah, it's been busy.
Hey, I'm out in the middle of the field and nowhere, and my internet's better than yours was.
Yeah. I can't disagree with that. It's good old Verizon hotspot we were using, and it just wasn't cutting it. So, on some Google Fiber today. We'll see how it goes. Compliments of my neighbors.
I'm pretty impressed with this Starlink. I can't believe how easy it was.
It is very easy. Glad we switched to that for this year for the live scoring.
Yeah.
And everything else afterwards that we have to do.
Have you had any complaints like breaking up like normal on live scoring? I haven't heard anything like that.
I will nothing really except for mishap with the 50 class. We didn't even have live scoring going. With everything that happened. That we just kind of looked over that, but we'll make sure we have it going for this race.
Gotcha. Sounds good.
So you've been at the track. What you got down there today or yesterday?
Yesterday morning.
Yesterday morning.
Yep. Down here all weekend, and then we I take that back. We drove back Saturday night to go watch Jack race at Knoxville.
We did.
And then came back down Sunday morning, went back home Sunday night, had a day at home to get things finished, loaded, and came down Tuesday morning. So,
good.
Yep. But, yeah.
I know. We've been pretty busy here getting lineups and the corrections and answering questions and stuff. Yeah. Everybody's getting prepared, and you can kind of see everybody's getting a little anxious for this weekend. So,
yeah, it's I know you've had some mixed emotions with this thing. I know it's a lot. No, and I don't even realize it, Chris. You and I talk, and it's like, even at Knoxville Saturday night, we were getting people, hey, my registration didn't come through, or whatever it might be, and until we start talking and stuff, and talking with Trace and you, it's like I can't even imagine the work that goes into that, but. People, and I'm not knocking anybody when I say that, but it's not just a simple thing of say write on a piece of paper, in order to be organized like that and all that work that you showed me that you have to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's key to have a hard cutoff, when you got to get all the rows and, let's be honest, we found a couple that, we overlooked, you know what I mean? Just with a sheet or something. And But literally every time you add something like that, if we find something, it's like you got to redo the whole program, don't you? Push.
One, it takes some time to make all the corrections, adjust all the lines, update the scoring system itself. So there's some work into it. Just one simple, hey, I signed up for the wrong class. I should be this class. And just the amount of hours. I think I couldn't put a number. I know that you guys, as far as getting the track together, well over 200 hours. I think for if you did combine between all the crew, 500. I think is there's lots of hours involved, but it's not a lot on my end. But it does take some effort to every small change and every addition, and I'm glad we had the hard cutoff. Otherwise, we'd be making changes all the way up until the race day on Saturday, which potentially we still could. So, I've tried to post out there when we make changes to the lineup, we won't know for sure until right before we race. When you're doing that parade lap up to town square, because if somebody doesn't show up or has an accident and just can't make the race, there's a potential that we could still move up people, especially if it's one of those classes that has, a row of one at the tail end of the class. So,
Yeah. And we just had that. You used a good example. I forget, one of our racers just called last night, wasn't it?
yeah,
And thank him for calling us when he did. He's gotten hurt there a couple races ago and was really trying to make it and had to make a hard call, and said, hey, I just don't think I'll be able to. And he let us know on Tuesday or Wednesday versus, the day of, so that's, we appreciate that, so yeah, we got, not fast forwarding here, but we got another pre-registration the next race, so man, we got to keep pushing that pre-registration. And, the guys, we've had some that says, I just don't get on the internet very much. Well, we've been talking about this enough. Everybody should have known, so I'd say that put that big push out right now. Please, if you're racing the state fair race, please get signed up immediately. It's the same thing you got there with all the starting rows and the heats and stuff. It's not much easier.
That's one's probably the toughest race of the year, just because everything's 100% manual. And glorified Excel spreadsheet that I do, but it does take a lot.
Yeah, it's always hard for me because I do give you crap about having it scoring, and stuff. But same time, I always say the state fair race. Obviously, I love that because it's the state fair, but at the same time, I tell everybody it's the easiest race in the whole year, times 10 for us, myself and my guys outside. This year's going to be a little tougher having to build the track in just one evening, but we'll probably be building it all night. But normally just building the track and, obviously working that race, you got the toughest job, the scoring and, everything. And the second toughest is the guys that are doing the lineups for us, usually Brad and Big Joe, outside of that, man, it really gets pretty easy until the teardown,
Yeah.
So, except for you guys. So I feel for you. August is a tough month for you guys.
Yeah. So. Enough about that, all the sad stuff. Let's get to the exciting stuff.
Man, I'll tell you what, Chris. I was on the phone about 100 times today, it seemed like. And I know I repeated this more than once. And I'm not joking when I say this. My wife can tell you this for sure. 23 years of doing this, Chris. And you've been there pretty much the whole time. I have never, ever, ever been near as excited for a race, and I would even use the word proud of a race, as I am for this one coming up. It's just, there's so much stuff here that, everybody's getting challenged, some of them might whine a little bit because they are getting challenged, but yeah, it's cool. I'm not going to lie. It's a badass trophy, Chris. It really is. I don't have it here with me.
I'm surprised that you didn't bring that. You've probably been sleeping with it.
Yeah, no. I don't have one here. Trace is bringing them down. But to me, our sport needs a trophy like that. I'm not trying to blow it out of proportion, but man, you got to be willing to work for it. You know what I mean? And that's what this race is all about. It's celebrating, Mike Penland, and not just Mike, but the people around him and the whole era, that got us to this point. There's not a 4x4 that should be started, whether it's my crew guys or myself or the racers, that should turn the key on this Saturday and not think that, oh my God, I got these guys to think, because they have so much input on the machines that we're riding today. It's not even funny. But to know that all them guys are coming in, and be here, and man, they haven't been together forever. I know we keep talking about this, but man, it's just the behind the scenes and stuff that's going on. It's just, it's really, really special. And because of Mike and the opportunity to do this, and, give credit where credit's due with Adam Ratliff, helping me locate this property and listening to the dream that I had, and man, Adam has just been working his butt off, and we got to thank all the guys that's been coming down and helping. But man, he's just been the core of it, and we can't thank him enough with all of his connections and being close to this. And I mean, it's just unbelievable. So, but to be able to do this race for this trophy, the Penland, you are going to have to work for it. If you win this race, Chris, unless you're in a class that's got one or two people, and you got a 50-50 chance, that's a little different. But outside of that, whether it's the kids course, whether it's the adult course, and you win that, you have earned that trophy. I mean, there's a lot going to be into this race. It's really going to test you. And just to start alone, nerves wise, rolling up there, live start on the concrete, it's a lot, and we've had some people that's excited. We have some people that's like, why, don't want to start on concrete. I'd say 90% of people think it's fun or cool, but it's different. And that's what this race is supposed to be. It's not supposed to be like any other race that we've ever done before. This track replaced Fort Dodge that we raced up there how many times? Some years we did old owners, we did 2 races a year up there.
Yeah.
And there's not much you could do different. We changed a little bit, but man, this is completely different. You think about this, Chris, this is going to be almost 3 Fort Dodge tracks in one of our race. It's like going around the track 3 times what you're going to have to do to go around this track once.
Yep.
The start, everything. It's just going to be so different. And man, it couldn't come at a better time, for a better person. And, and hey, let's be honest. I'm excited to show our series off to people coming in from all over, and yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'll tell you, I'm so excited. So
I know you guys have been working your tail off numerous hours out there. We kind of hinted how many miles this track is. Right now, you have some of the crew out there doing a sweep because you've kind of been working nonstop, just getting the track ready. We may not have a true mileage by the end of this podcast, but is it something maybe we can do a Facebook Live or throw that out there? I know
Absolutely.
that people are curious about it.
Yeah, that's a great idea. If he doesn't, so Dean Hansen is out there right now sweeping the track or going around marking the track for us. Like you said, we've been trimming. It's all laid out, all connected. We just had to finish trimming it, and there's a lot of trimming. And
so it's going to be like, what is it? The east side of Corydon versus the west side of Corydon?
No. This has got a little bit of everything. I mean, it's going to be super fast in places, and all of a sudden you're going to get choked down. There's going to be guys, look, we know it. There's guys that try to find an imaginary line out there. And on this track, when you do that, you're liable to be in a ravine, and if you're off the course, we got so many miles here. If you're off the course and you're in there, we'll get you after the race as long as you're okay. You know what I mean? But you get off the track here 15 feet to one side, and yeah, you're parking it for the day. Trust me. There's some of the biggest ravines. Spragueville, no, not Spragueville. What's the one? Thurman is the only one that I can remember that had bigger ravines than this place. And I mean, they're huge and they're non-forgiving. We've walked every single little bit of it, trying to find crossings and stuff. And most of the place, we went around them, trying to get as much track. When we first started. And at the end,
Yeah.
we realized, you know what, Chris? At the end, when we had all this marked out, we had 2 more timber sections to go, and we're like, nope, we're not even going in it. One, we're running out of time, but 2, we just don't need it. We'll save it for next year type thing. So yeah, there's a lot more opportunity than what we're using here. And, but yeah, it's truly laid out to where, point A to point B, we've already talked about these sections that they fenced them off for the cattle farming. And, you go in one gate and there's only one way to get to the other gate. I mean, it's, way at the other end. And this track, I'm telling you, Chris, we've tried to use our head and we've tried to think of everything, but there's one place on this track where you're coming around and you're going to be right above this creek. Basically, we go right into the creek. It's all sand and stuff. There's basically no water anywhere now. But you go right beside it. You're literally looking down at it. And if you get to the end, well, you won't actually go to the end of it where you can cut across. But if a guy tries to say, okay, I need to cut across, he's literally cutting out half of the track. So, I mean, any place where you think you might be able to cheat, it is going to be such an obvious cut and save you so much time. It's not even funny.
All right. So then we got a question came in from Marvin Scott Bacon. When setting up a new track like this, Andy, what would you say is the hardest part in making a new track when a racer has no idea other than the signs to go off with no existing trails?
So make sure I'm understanding that right, Chris. He's saying like, what's the toughest part for the racer that's racing?
That's my assumption because it's a brand new trail. There's only one trail basically that you guys have cut in all of this brand new timber, right?
Correct. Yep. Yeah. There's only one trail around here. We've even mowed where you cross over, like say a ridge or something. We've got Adams went through and mowed a path everywhere. So literally, if you get off of this course, you're just not paying attention. But that's still a great question. Just to make sure I understand it right, if he's asking like what the toughest part for us is, it's obviously the walking. We don't even use the quads. We basically walk the whole course. We got to walk it with 4-foot tall grass into trees. We're averaging about 10 ticks every time we go out. So that's the toughest part for us is literally walking it when there's so much cover right now, trying to find the locations, find the way it flows. I love cedars down here, so it's it's really cool getting in and out, finding those locations, tagging them, and knowing the parts that you want to get into and then tying it all together. That's our hardest part outside of the trimming forever afterwards. For the racer, I think that's a great question for the racer. And it goes back to something that we really haven't talked about this year, Chris. I know we talked about it last year a little bit and probably not enough. I know it's on the website going into this race. It's probably a good idea to review that. And we have some new guys helping us. So I'm not going to sit here and tell you there won't be a mistake arrowing. And the reason I say that and why that's so important, especially for a newer racer, is to understand the arrows. So the arrows should always be like, it's almost like having a co-pilot with you, if you look at it that way. And that co-pilot's telling you, turn right up here. Well, as long as we've arrowed it right, I'm being honest, okay, we should always be telling you as you're looking forward, like when it's turning right. Obviously, if an arrow is going to the right, it's turning right. If it's turning to the left, there's a corner coming up right. We'll usually lead up to it, but then right at the corner, we're always going to have it. So you're looking ahead and you see it. That's the obvious thing. Okay. If you have an arrow just going the normal, position where it's going, can't look at the thing here. Sorry, it's not working. But this is an arrow and it's like this pointing up on a tree. Yeah. Yeah. Hello. Wax on, wax off.
Left, right, yeah.
But yeah, if it's pointing, up, then that's basically telling you that you're going straight ahead. If there's a hill, um, same thing. You can usually see the hill, so it's pointing up. You know what I mean? That's just a normal meaning you're going straight, going ahead. If there's a downhill, the arrow's obviously pointed down. And you can't always see it down. So it's always good to pay attention to those. If you have an arrow that's pointed like at a 45, it's going down, but it's off to the side. That means you have to go to that side of the arrow. So that's like telling you to come around this side. I'm sorry, not the arrow, the lath. So it's telling you which side of the lath you have to be on.
Gotcha.
So a lot of that, a double arrow, you know, a double arrow means that you have to go between those arrows. That means 2 on the left, 2 on the right. That's where you have to go between those arrows. So, then, if you get a guy that wants to be creative, we've seen that this year already. Let's be honest, not be honest, let's be upfront. But the rules are the rules. Our rules aren't going to change. And in our series, different than GNCC. And one of these reasons, because we've got so many good guys out here busting their butts building track. I do not understand when people allow you to have 25 feet on each side of the track. If you have 25 feet on each side of the track, Chris, that means you're going along a thin timber section. You could basically pop right outside that timber section and run it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's no reason for that. So in our series, we build a track for you to race, point blank. Now, the guys that need extra help, that maybe not quite quick enough, they have to look for corners to get around or corners to miss. You don't have 25 feet to get over there. You have 25 feet if there's a bottleneck. Trying to pass somebody is not a bottleneck. If you have like 3 or 4 quads that are stuck and you can't get through there, then that is a bottleneck. And then you can go around it. You can use that 25 feet. Or if you have to use more, you can use more, but then you get right back on the track. You don't pass 10 trees. If you can get right back on the track after 1 tree, you pass 1 tree and you get back on as quick as you possibly can, back on track. So
that leads up to a comment here. A question from Craig Carey. So for those that Andy's on his cell phone, can't see all these questions, so kind of have to read them off to him. Question is, since we indicated there's one line, basically it's been mowed or it's been marked, are there any split lines? So for being a new track, is there ways to pass or areas that you can pass the guy in front of you?
So that's a great question. There is some split lines. I would tell you there's not enough of them yet. I would really like to see some more because there's some opportunities out there for them. So most of our crew was getting there tonight or tomorrow morning. And we are far enough along now. We've just got one section to finish trimming. And why I'm telling you all this, Chris, is I will have this conversation with my guys when we're going around arrowing it. I want them to be able to look for a couple. I would love to see 2 or 3 more other options stuck in there. And I know of some places that is feasible. But even though we don't have as many, I want to say there's at least, I'm not sure how many, but I know there's some out there, but it's set up to where you just have to see it. The timbers are all different. Every single one of them is different here. And there is lines where we have like arrows on a tree pointing forward. You could go to the left, you could go to the right. There is some options there, like natural options, but it's really weird, this place, Chris. I'll use Corden as an example. There's hardly anything here that's like the big side of Corden. And there's very little here that's like the tight side of Corden. Everything is kind of in the middle. I wouldn't say everything flows good. The first time you go to a place, you get some hard corners. We just removed like 2 or 3 trees because there was hard corners and I wasn't even making it going slow. So we did remove those. So I'm kind of getting off track here, but we've tried to make it to where there's places it's going to bite you. I wouldn't want to be in the lead the first lap. I'll guarantee you. But there's places here that can bite you really quick. We already talked about the ravines, the corners, and stuff. But for the most part, I mean, I think most places you can make a mistake, get right back on the track immediately, whether there's a passing option or where you can go to the left of the tree instead of a right of the tree. It's not bad flowing, but being brand new, it kind of helps and it hurts. There's not, you don't look like there's that many lines out there, but there's just enough places where you pop out of the tight stuff and out into the open for just a split. We have one, two, three, four, maybe five places where you pop out in the open to get to another timber. Where there's obviously plenty of passing in the timber. There's places where there is no passing, but there's other places where there is easily. So. And here's a part of that too is everybody's got to learn. I don't care if it's double A or if it's first year. If you're on that first lap and man, you got someone pounding behind you, let them go, man. Get them behind them. That's part of the respect that you earn. And the stuff. But there's guys that won't let nobody pass them, and they end up paying for it in the long run. So. But yeah, I guess getting off track. But there is some option lines, but there's plenty of places that have a natural option, if that makes a sense, and wide enough that I just got done laying a thing out, and my guy said, that's awful quick. I'm like, yeah, but most places here, if someone wants to get over, if you want to put a good pass on somebody, there's room to do it, and it's going through the timber. So, but yeah, so I hope that answers it. Maybe I stepped around the question.
You did the Andy version of a quick answer.
Did I?
Yeah, good job.
You want me to go into detail?
Nope. So another question's popped up here. Are the racers and those coming to the race able to bring their golf carts for a way to get to the start?
Absolutely. Yep.
But
and I won't say this twice, Chris, at all. That day I'll tell people in the riders meeting, it's not a joke. You could cost us to lose this race. So yes, I encourage you to. It's very rare. I encourage you to bring your golf carts, your side by side, whatever. There's places to park downtown, but you've got to pretend like you want to be here. Like we really like what we're doing, and we want to show that to people. We won't put up number one. Absolutely, Chris. Make it very clear. No youth are riding. Period. Or driving. No youth are driving at all. I don't care if it's a golf cart, whatever. There's no Honda 90s. There's nothing like that. No youth can pit ride, period. Okay. But yes, they can ride with somebody down there. We don't need 10 people in a golf cart hanging out on the side, hoping it trips over, But yes, you can take a four-wheeler, you can take a side-by-side, you can take a car, you can take a golf cart. And then also, remember, we have a mode path. Only one way that you can go there. You don't get off of that path, but it'll take you down to the falls. The kids will actually be going through that area now. We extended them way out. They'll be going through the creek down there, so they'll actually be on sand. But there's a place to be up above looking down on them, and then anybody can actually walk down in there too to help out. So, but yes, they can. We've got two places for you to drive. One would be downtown when it's time to. Number two would be down to the falls area to watch. We will be giving rides to both downtown and the falls. We'll give rides down and back. We have multiple side-by-sides, I think at least 3 to 6 that will be giving rides all day long during those events. So if I do see, though, Chris, again, I'm not trying to be a son of a gun, but if I see anybody doing something they shouldn't, I'll be happy to pull the key or guide them back, and they will never, ever have a pit bike or a pit vehicle again at our races. So that'll be made very clear. But it's supposed to be fun. We want you to bring that stuff. We want you to have fun. Everybody does it right. We hope that we can be welcomed back and, if everything goes right, and do this again, show off our people. That's what I talk about all the time, is how great our people are that in this series. So
So you've mentioned the falls on several of the podcasts now. That's kind of a highlight. There's a mode path down to it. Oh, how long is the falls sectioned? And it's 8 pop out of it. So basically, tell us a little bit. So the falls is like from what you talked last podcast. It's kind of the last big section before you come to pits, right?
Yep. The very, very end. You will come across there. You'll pop down into. It's like slab rock. It's hard to explain. Obviously, the water's changed it over the years, but there is a little bit of water just setting. There isn't nothing running, so you will go through water there. Not a big deal. It's all rock underneath a solid, I don't know, like table rock, I guess you'd call it. But you'll come down. That is probably a half a block length. Okay.
Okay.
Come down. You'll go right above what we call the falls, and that's where people can actually be down in there and watching and helping if they want, staying out of the way, paying attention. But we have not finished that. We've got a lot of rock to move right now to even make it passable. Once you actually get down into the falls area, I'm going to say maybe 200 feet at the very most is probably all it is. And then you'll pop out of there and get down into the, it's a sandbar that takes you around a bend. And then that is, you'll climb up out of the bank and then have a second level that you'll climb up out of. And then you have an open section. We call it like a Z though, because you got to go, come around the fence line, you make a hard 180 around one, you come all the way down, you come out another gate, you make another 180, come back, come through another fence, and then you come up the pit lane. So to scoring. So the falls it's I guess relatively small. It's just a really, really cool section. And it's gonna separate the racers, trust me. So yeah.
Okay.
It'll be neat.
All right. And we let's talk about coming in. So a little bit different as coming into the racetrack itself, that we're going to have a little bit longer of a path. Is it 2-car wide that we're going to be able to just do 2, or we're going to have a separate walking path? Talk about that. We have to have vehicles that go in downtown.
To go downtown or to get into the track?
To get into the track.
Yep. So what we've done is basically staked off an area, mowed it down really nice. We're right on a highway. The highway is not very busy at all, but we don't want you sitting out on the highway. You know what I mean? So we've got a path marked off that will come in. We'll get you off. I think we can probably get, if we had to, maybe 6 to 7 vehicles in there, like a holding area type thing, to get you signed in and everything. Now, remember, this time we'll have a couple extra people, we hope anyway, at the gate. They will be putting, because of what's going on downtown and stuff, everybody has to have their armband on. Yeah, they have to have it on the whole time. So if you don't have it on, you'll be asked to go get another one. We'll take you to get another one. But so when you come in, they will actually put it on you at the gate. And then, we'll get you all signed in and get you in, but it should not be an issue. It should actually be one of the more easier ones to get into. And then some of the guys maybe have talked to somebody that was down here before. The entrance was a little rough. Adam went through with the skid, got it all smoothed out, widened out, I guess you'd call it. We got 2 loads of rock on there right now. It's really nice. I just pulled, I came in with the scoring trailer once. I came in with the dually, and I came in with the motorhome and the registration trailer, and it didn't even feel like I went over a bump. It's so smooth and no dragging, no nothing. It's just really, really nice getting in here. So,
all right, we got another question popping in here. Is the gate time tomorrow firm? Can we get there early like a normal race?
Tomorrow. So tomorrow we have a noon open. The gates are open at noon. I don't think we've ever kept somebody in, So I would say that gates open at noon, but if somebody got here at 11, could they get in? Probably, Um, I just don't know if we're going to be set up. Hopefully we'll be. But typically when we say gates open at noon, so we can have people at the gate not chasing you around and stuff. So um, I'm not going to say it's firm. The only thing that's firm is the 11 o'clock,
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'd say, I mean, if they get here a little early, I'm not going to make them wait by no means. So,
That kind of leads into what I was going to say next, and kind of what we've been uh, indicating on the last podcast, just because registration's got kind of extended hours this race. We still would like to get everybody through registration as soon as possible.
100%.
You don't need an AMA card or a T-shirt or anything. I know Tracy's been working her tail off, and pretty well everybody's entered for this race. This will be the fastest that we get you through than any other race. If there's no money to be exchanged, your helmet looks good, you got your AMA card like we suggest, or like it's required to bring every race, it'll be under 30 seconds. I mean, we have taken everything, all the measures ahead of time to make this very fast. So
I got a question for you, Chris.
Yeah.
On registration, I had a couple people call me that haven't raced with us before. They're going to start racing with us.
Yep.
And they're typically racing down the Missouri series or Arkansas series. And they have a different sticker on their helmet. And I didn't tell them to take it off. I told them to, obviously, you have to bring your helmet every single race to the table. And I wasn't sure. I said, sometimes you can program that one in so they can keep it and use it. I wasn't sure, that's not my, my specialty there. So I just told them to bring it to you, but it might be something they can still use that one instead of having to peel it off. But that's always something that might have to happen, so.
Yep. So the motor tally, that's a different scoring system that we use. It does not affect our scoring system at all. We use a vent scoring system. So anybody, basically, there's lots of series around the Midwest here that all use that same scoring system. That transponder will work with our system as well. So we can take a look at it. If I haven't.
I'm pretty sure that's what they had was Moto Tally, I think they said. So
yeah, Moto Tally's okay. They can keep it as long as it doesn't interfere where we need to put our transponder.
Gotcha. But if somebody has a transponder on their machine from like GNCC or something, will that work, or does that have to be taken off?
GNCC does not affect us as well, since they've went to a new scoring system as well. So We're good there. So those that are attached to the machine should be okay.
Okay.
We're just we just don't want somebody to have a event scoring transponder on their machine and then come up and also register and get a second transponder. It throws off all of our numbers due to the fact that we have that check balance system behind the scenes. So that's why we kind of want the helmets there. And also, if the side helmet stickers that we use for backup is old, needs replaced, we can get those replaced quickly as well.
Gotcha. Yep. And this is, I guess, part of registration. I had somebody ask me this week too about AMA card. They haven't been AMA before and is wanting an AMA card. And I'm not sure how, I guess, you guys talk to people about this, but make no doubt about it. We sell it, and you correct me if I'm wrong, Chris, but I know this is more Trace, but we sell it at the gate to be helpful. You know what I mean? So it's easy accessible. You know what I mean? But I don't want people thinking like, oh, we want you to buy it off of us. We don't make anything off of it. There's nothing there. And the only reason I refer people to buy it online before buying it from us is this is at least what I've always seen. I've seen when you buy it from us, you got to remember, we sell it and then we send it in the next week, but there could be 15 other races around the country, whether it be motocross, whether it be, whatever form of racing it is. You know what I mean? There could easily be 15 other races across the country. They're also selling cards. So when it comes to processing it, let's just say we sell 20 cards a weekend and somebody else sells 20 or 40, and it adds up, and all these cards keep coming in at the same time, and that's how they get backed up and stuff. So I've seen it when we sold cards and stuff gets lost, something's get wrong, is marked wrong or something. We try to make sure it's right, but we see people all the time that, man, it's been 3 months and I haven't seen my card yet, and what I've seen is if they buy it online, it seems like they get it a lot quicker,
I think it's a more automated system. And another bonus, so to speak, if you're buying it online, if you have a family of 3, you could buy the family online. You can't buy that when you come up to registration. The family membership, that's online only.
Gotcha.
So, and that family membership is the price of 2. So I think, what is AMA? $49, I think, this year. So yeah, if you have to buy 2 AMA cards, might as well get a family. If you have a family of 4 or whatever, and they don't have to race to be an AMA member. They can get their own card and share the benefits of that AMA membership. So
nice.
But a couple questions here. E-bike regulations here at this track and moving forward. Are there any? Are pedals required and kids allowed? So we just talked. Go for it.
Yep. So I'm not going to put a thing in there where I got to go out and start checking everybody. Here's what the e-bike should be. If parents are going to buy an e-bike, they should be talking to their kids saying, number one, you aren't on the track no matter what, unless you're riding it before a race starts. And then we have no problem with that. It's no different when you're in the pits. You don't need to be going 30 mile an hour. If you're going 5 mile an hour, 10 mile an hour, that's just fine. But if you're going to go fast, go somewhere else, go out in the open, do something, but you don't need to be. I told you that last race, we seen kids coming through around the score or the registration area, probably 20, 25 mile an hour, like scaring people, so we don't need to be riding double. There's one person on there. There's one person. That's it. It's a 1-person bike. So, yeah, biggest thing is just common sense. Make sure the kids know it. Make sure they know what they can and can't do. We're trying to be as lenient as we can. It'll just be a thing. Before I have to start checking bikes, I'll just take them away. I mean, that'll be the simplest thing for us to do. So plain simple. If you want an e-bike, I don't blame you. I want one too. You use it to get around, go ride the track before, use it to get around and stuff. But, just be courtesy of everybody around you. And completely off the track. Absolutely nobody on the track with them during the races.
So, Andy, you said that you can have an e-bike. It can be on the track or on the course, preferably before Saturday. So Saturday morning, we shouldn't really see anybody out there a whole lot since we start at 8:30 in the morning, all right?
Right. You better be out there early because the kids, we haven't talked about the kids too much. The kids will start here at the track, okay? Everything is very centrally located. They'll start here. They go down a really long straightaway, and we just figured it up. They do, it's almost 2.5 miles from the first gate here by scoring to get to what we call the creek crossing, which is very nice now. It's 2.5 miles to get there. We just traveled from there back here. Ooh, we might be getting a measurement here. I think I heard Dean maybe just pull up. But from the creek crossing clear back to the pits, they even go right below the falls. We extend them way out is another 2.4. And that's not even counting the section over here around the pit. So they're going to be just a fuzz over 5 miles for the kids course. So it's going to be crazy. So you're going to be on a lot of if you ride an e-bike, say on Saturday morning, you'll literally be on the adult course. The first 2.5, actually actually be about the first, almost 3 miles. You will be on the course of the adult course, and then you will finish on the adult course too. So, could you ask them to shut those off, please? Too much noise.
I didn't get it out. I got my stuff.
Oh, you did? Okay. 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 Sorry, they were just telling me he got a little mixed up trying to put some stuff in his phone, so they did not get a measurement for us. So that will be, I think obviously you can hear them all. But they're getting ready to go again, so we won't have it right now.
Okay. Well, that's something we can keep the suspense going for another day and let you do a live tomorrow and let us know.
Yeah, if I get it yet tonight, we'll even do one tonight to give you an update. But I'm pretty sure, and I probably set myself up for failure here, but I'm pretty sure we're going to be really close, give or take, to that 14 miles.
Gotcha.
So.
Oh, there's some weather in the forecast, or we can always say there's something maybe going on. 4-letter word falls from the sky.
Hey, really quick, can you hear all that noise?
No.
It's okay. Okay. Gotcha. Go ahead.
So there's talk about some rain in the forecast. How can the track take some rain? And how will it hold up if we get maybe an inch or so? I'm not. Okay. I'm just throwing an inch out there. So
yeah, yep. So I've looked at it, and basically all it shows is 0.65 on Friday, from like 12 in the morning to like 7 in the morning is what I've seen. Okay. So with that being said, that's being a little less than 3/4 of an inch. If that was to happen by 10 o'clock in the morning, you wouldn't even know it ever rained. I promise you that. It's dry enough out in the open and stuff that, we have several crossings. Those crossings, you don't want, the big ravines that they have. No, you do not want, those with a lot of water coming down in there. But an inch will never even make it down there. It's dry enough. So I don't know if I'm explaining that right, but for what's in the forecast, that'll just be a dust control for a couple hours. But literally, you will not know it rained by, if it gets done at 7 o'clock in the morning, we get 3/4 of an inch. I'll bet you by 8:30, you don't even know it rained. Definitely by 10, so.
All right. Oh, Sean George asking if basically about the golf carts. Yes, John, we are allowing golf carts to be driven only by adults to and from the start.
Golf carts will be able to go down to the falls too if they want. It'll be a little rough for golf carts, but they only follow the mode path. So, but yes, you can take them down as well. Oh, and let me back up. E-bikes, all of them, they do not need to be crossing, any pit vehicle does not need to be crossing the track at all. 0. So there's only one section of our pits, Chris, that you have to cross the track in order to get to your pits, if that makes sense. And that is actually right by scoring. We have bales set up there. We'll have caution tape going up there. During the race, we'll have caution tape going across. So if you need out, make sure you're getting in or out. If you're over on that, it's a perfectly flat section, long section. But if you need out before the kids, I know some people have to get out after the kids. You need to get out before we start so that, we're safe. So, but pit vehicles do not need to be crossing over the track. Nowhere. There's nowhere on the track that you can take a pit vehicle except to the falls. So, and downtown, of course.
Okay. All right. I don't have any other questions else, that anybody else is asking. You have anything to add maybe shortly here? Because I really want to keep you to an hour.
Yep. So I'll just say this yeah, I'll just say this really quick. The 50s are probably going to be close to, I'm going to say probably 2 miles, maybe, no, I'm sorry. They might be closer to 3 miles. It'll be really close, I'd say, but 2.5 to 3. But keep in mind, at least a half mile of that is just wide open, getting, quarter mile getting to the track or to the timber, and at least a quarter mile coming back. So it's a fun section. During the kids courses, this obviously is during the adult courses too. They're on the same one coming back, but we have a set of gates that we go through. It's like a big Z. You go around corners and there is some ravines there. We'll have it all taped off. But on the kids, we definitely need somebody in at least 4 spots, just to help slow the kids down and be there in case somebody did, go into one. But so definitely would like to have like 4 people and would like to have you there, where it's at. As long as we could give you a ride, we could actually take you there right after the start and be fine. But yeah, there's just a couple places out there we'd definitely like to have people, and we know that we have a 5-mile course. There's going to be some that obviously don't want to walk and would be happy to take you out and park, and put you in a spot, and then we can get you right afterwards as well back here. So, but during the kids, Chris, it's going to be the same thing. Even though the kids don't really go into the falls, they go in right at the tail end of it, and they do that whole sand part. So that is where I would say a majority of the people, parents or whatever, that want to be there, that's going to be a good place to be for the kids, because some of them may not make it. It's pretty hard packed, but if they've never ridden on sand before, this is going to be a good opportunity for them. But there'll definitely be some stuck. There's no doubt about that. Outside of that, we talked about getting in. We will have 3 food vendors, dirty soda lemonade stand, shaved ice, and a coffee stand will all be here. It'll be centrally located. So yeah, remember there's ice down at the cafe here in town. It's about 3/4 of a mile. It's right where the start is. But there is ice available there. He said he could make 600 pounds of ice a day for us. So we've already gotten some from him today. So ice is available here. If you do need fuel or diesel, the co-op across the street are going to try to keep somebody there. As long as somebody's there, you can pull in there, get gas. You have to have a co-op card to get it. But if you want to get gas and they're there, or diesel, you can go inside, pay with check, cash, or they can use the credit card machine as well. So outside of that, there's really no food other than the cafe. I'm not sure exactly what the hours are, but closest food is probably Eagleville, Princeton, or I think Lamoni is closer than Bethany. But Bethany definitely has the most hotels, restaurants, stuff like that. So Walmart. So I think that's it. Pretty much everything's set up, Chris. We just got the cone set up. We've got some lath to do here. We still might finish it tonight in the pits to get it 100% done. There's one more thing. Before scoring, coming up the hill, going into scoring, some of our crew is trying to save room for everybody, which I don't think we'll ever run out of room here for parking. But they are clear at the bottom, and they are parked on the right as you're going backwards on the track. So like from the from the scoring down the hill, they are parked on the right-hand side all the way down the bottom. Okay. But we don't want anybody else parked on that right side coming up. We can only have one lane. Okay. And that one lane needs to be on the left-hand side if you're going backwards, like down the hill if you're wanting to park, or if you're on the track and you're coming up to scoring, they need to be on the right-hand side. That's the only side that you can park on.
Okay. So we got clarification that the cafe is open from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. My guess is both Saturday or Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Unless
I'm not sure if they are open on Sunday. Maybe they can tell us. I thought I'd heard that they weren't open on Sundays, but I might be wrong. So,
Well, Friday, Saturday, we're throwing that out there.
yeah, cool. And I've heard it's really good. So there's maybe the only one, but it's also the best one. So, I guess just a couple other things. What's
Couple
that?
other questions here.
Okay.
Dylan's asking, would you like riders to pass out or toss out candy and stickers for the parade? I don't know if that's the kind of parade that we're kind of pushing for. When Andy's saying a parade to town, it's basically everybody going through at once. That way we don't have onesie twosies going down and racing into town. We want kind of the whole afternoon session racers going down together.
Correct. And Chris, I'm going to put a spot here in the pits where I'm actually going to put stakes up so you guys can see I'll put number markers on there and everything. So like row 1 to 49. And they can go in there and get lined up. It's really easy. Remember, number 1 is on the left-hand side. Number 5 is on the right-hand side. Obviously everything in between, right? But we want you lined up and ready to go here, because the way we will pull you in, we will turn a block before the square or the main street, and we go up this alleyway. And we go up this alleyway, you're locked in there then. It's barely wide enough for 5 quads. You're going to be tire to tire until you get right up to the square. So, but yeah, nothing like that for the parade itself. But remember, stickers on Friday night, be ready that's like trick or treat night. They can hand out candy then too. But remember, the first 100 people come through get the Super ATV pit board.
First 100 kids.
First 100 kids, correct. Yeah. Yep.
As well, Chad Bardorf indicated that he will be down there Thursday. Set up Thursday. If you need any Ty Lube products at all, gas or fuel, cleaner products, anything you might need, get through the weekend. He'll be set up on Thursday.
Nice. I got an idea for Chad. I think Chad should set up a pit lane where anybody could come through there, and then he just fuels them up and then they get their bill afterwards. He could be a professional pit stall manager there.
Yeah. So.
Any other questions?
I don't know if this is a real one, but yes, somebody's asking if there's a good place to put up a tent. Plenty of parking, plenty of space.
Yeah, that's not even an issue, but I'm glad they brought that up though. We can no longer have people, we have a track laid out, we have cones there, but they need to stay back at least 15 feet from the cone before they put a trailer or a tent, anything. We've got to have a little grace period between the track and the tents. We cannot have a trailer backed up right to it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So at least 15 feet off before you put a tent. And the way it's laid out, there's plenty of room for that.
Okay. All right, buddy. Anything else?
Just the last thing is
an hour, 45 seconds. Let's go.
Remember, Friday night, all the activities, first 100 people through the gate. 100 kids get the pit board. Friday night, you turn around and you go around. Everybody's bringing stickers. Please bring as many stickers as you can to hand out to the kids. They get it covered. They bring it up, and Mike Penland will stamp his approval on there and stuff. And then Mike also, I know, is bringing a lot of swag and stuff to show from the past. We have a lot of cool stuff set up from we have Ricochet skid plates. We have DP brakes. We have OMF, Cyclops, trying to think, Kawasaki. We have a lot of stuff coming, I know. But anyway, it'll be in that silent auction that'll start on Friday. And I don't really know. We talked about it, Chris. I don't know if we're going to stop it right before the race or if we're going to go ahead and let it go till right after the race. So, but we'll communicate that. And then remember, we have the mustache contest Friday night at 6. We have the please, 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 I beg everybody, bring a lawn chair, come up here at the award stand and just listen to these guys. I've begged them. They're excited. Just talking stories, bickering back and forth. It's going to be really fun to hear. So real excited to have them guys in for this weekend. And I'm even more excited to showcase our series, our riders, our people, friends, and families to these people from a long ways away.
Yep. Kind of looking forward to that Friday night. So,
Yes, very much so.
all right. Any closing thoughts, buddy?
Nope, just that I will give an update as soon as I can on the track link for the adults, a little quick Facebook, anything else that we have. But I would say at this point, the crew will be out tomorrow morning for sure. They're out right now. I will finish up the pits here, hopefully yet tonight, and it should be 100%. There's no reason we should not be ready to go at noon tomorrow. So,
Okay.
all righty.
All right. We will see you. Thanks, everybody, for sticking around.
And thanks so really big time. Thanks to Adam Ratliff, everybody down here that's helped. Ryan and Ryan have been a big help. All the crew. There's just a lot of stuff that's came together, Chris, behind the scenes to make this happen, and we can't thank them enough. So everybody talked about them. So, all righty.
All right. We'll see you in a few days, buddy.
You're not coming for a few days?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I'll be there Saturday morning.
Saturday morning. All righty, man. Sounds good.
Right.
Thanks for making this happen tonight.
Yep. We'll see everybody next week.
Sounds good.